Some of the most familiar faces in hockey history, Bobby Hull, Paul Henderson, and Eddie Shack, once again descended upon the Northview Golf and Country Club in Surrey for a great day of golf in a fundraising event for Sunny Hill Health Center for Children. It was a day filled with many memorable moments, some great golf and some rather embarrassing golf. A lot of great laughs and, of course, team camaraderie. If you're interested in golf or hockey or both, then stay with us for a look back at the 3rd annual Clark Foundation NHL Oldtimers Celebrity Golf Classic. Bright and early on a sunny July morning, the participants began to arrive at Northview, golf clubs in tow, ensuring that the right shoes were worn. At the registration desk, Eddie, the entertainer Shack, did his best to wake up the bunch with a natural dose of shack-in-your-face caffeine. Tournament organization was once again first class as programs were distributed, golf carts were allocated, and teammates were introduced to the NHL celebrity who would be designated as their honorary team captain. The putting green was hopping as most prepared to make their shots when the pressure was on. Some just got ready for the sun as the blue sky foreshadowed a day in which the UV rays would fall at full power. Some made last-minute phone calls to the office. "Hold my calls, I'm just heading to the front nine." While others, as we found throughout the day, just couldn't get away from the phone. This was it. The big day had arrived for tournament organizers, and after months of preparation, this year's tournament was once again off to a great start.
You're right, Eddie. Good morning. How are you? I'm just saying we're the best looking team anyways.
4 years ago, Fred Clark, his son's tournament co-chair, Scott Clark, and Lewis Clark were at a golf event with Eddie Shack, and the suggestion was made, why not start their own tournament with funds raised benefiting a charity here in BC. 4 years later, organizers have successfully run 3 great tournaments with another in the works for next year and no end in sight. Organizers are quick to point out that its success is due to the tremendous support from the NHL Oldtimers and Canucks Alumni Association, with NHL legends such as Dennis Hull, Bobby Hull, Bob Bond, and Pat Quinn participating in every tournament to date.
These gentlemen will do anything you require. You know, they're so unselfish with their time. They'll sit and chat with you. They'll give you autographs, and it's really what they really put out for us.
Players keep coming back every year, not only to play golf, but to mix stories, and some of them, they haven't seen each other in years.
Yeah, it's a real camaraderie. I mean, a lot of respect there. Obviously, to play in the NHL, you got to have something going for you, and it was a tough and rumble period for those guys because a lot of guys didn't wear helmets and face masks, and it's a different game than it is today.
The support from some of the hockey legends who come to the Surrey Golf Course from homes all across North America benefits British Columbia, specifically through the Sunny Hill Health Center for Children, who this year were on site at Northview to let participants see firsthand the good they do for children. Each year, Sunny Hill provides specialized services to more than 3,300 children with disabilities from 256 BC communities. In fact, their major assessment and rehabilitation center in Vancouver provides specialized services to children with disabilities. Representatives from Sunny Hill were also on hand to receive a $50,000 check from this year's event, and it's estimated that over its 3 years' existence, the event has raised close to $200,000 for Sunny Hill.
The main thing, though, is that the money goes to the children and not into a black hole, and I believe that's happening. We're buying all the items that we are purchasing are capital cost items that you can see, they're tangible. Something that you can put your hands on and you can actually see, and that's what that's what we're striving towards anyway.
How'd you come about picking Sunny Hill?
Sunny Hill was as a result of a good friend of mine, Ted Bradley. He was the one that recommended it to me. We went down there, spent a lot of time with them, and as a result of that, they were the ones that Fred, Clark, Scott, Louie, and I decided that should be the beneficiary.
The day officially started with a formal entrance from Bobby Hull, Scott Clark, and a couple of their Scottish friends. After downing some morning scotch, Bobby Hull was awake.
I don't hit it for 6 holes. You don't know why. That hit bottom.
Competitors would begin the day with a shotgun start in hopes that all teams would finish close to the same time. So it was off to the races, pedal to the metal, and for Paul Henderson, ear to the phone as participants headed out to their respective first holes.
Hey there.
Rules for the day would be straightforward. Play would be done in a Texas Scramble best ball format. All 5 players would tee off according to their handicap. Participants could then pick up the best ball of the 5 and shoot from that spot. This procedure would continue until the ball is holed out or within the gimme circle marked around each hole. Bettering par would be the objective for each hole. As you would expect in this format, team play would contribute to team success. Sort of a hockey version of golf. It's a format that contributes to team camaraderie. One team that was benefiting from the collective approach was that captained by Paul Henderson, best remembered for his goal herd around the world in the 1972 Canada-Soviet Series. Paul played 16 years in the NHL, amassing close to 500 points, and now lives in Mississauga with his family.
Paul, exceptional career, 707 games, 16 years in the National Hockey League, 2 in the WHA. Did you enjoy it all?
I sure did, and my family did also. I was really fortunate that we were sort of a hockey family, and it turned out really well.
Takes you away from home an awful lot.
I saw a lot more of my family playing hockey than I do today. I mean, I think it's a misnomer in a lot of ways. A hockey player has a lot of time at home if he wants to spend it there.
Nice to see you involved with a celebrity event like this.
Yeah, it's one of the great satisfactions of life is being able to turn around and help other people that probably maybe not quite as fortunate as yourself. And I probably enjoy this aspect of life as much as even playing hockey. When you can when you put your head on the pillow at the end of the day and you know you can look back and help some other people, that's a pretty good feeling, and so that's why I'm here.
A lot of people remember you for the game-winning goal in 1972, but they fail to remember that you scored 2 other game-winning goals as well.
Well, now that you've reminded them, that's right. I did score the winning goal in each of the last 3 games. I scored 7 goals in that series, and obviously the highlight of my athletic career. Just to play with some of the players on that team, the guys that you hated and you had to play against all the time. What a great pleasure it was to represent your country and then get to enjoy the skills of the greatest hockey players in the world. And then, of course, we found out how great the Russians were, what skilled and excellent hockey players they were, and gave us some of the best hockey we'd seen in this country up to that point.
His good fortune rubbed off on his teammate as demonstrated by this putt. And of course, not all shots were quite as successful in a competitive sense, although some shots do bring you a little closer to nature. And judging by the smile on Johnny Busick's face, that's not always so bad. This big bad Bruin played 1,540 games in a career in which he scored 1,369 points. Johnny Busick was a rugged power forward. Originally from Boswell, BC, he helped the Bruins win the Stanley Cup in 1970 and 1972, and you can tell that he loves returning to BC.
Were you sad to see the Gardens go down?
Yeah, I was. You know, my whole career was there. I played 21 years in that building, and, you know, to see it go down was kind of sad, but we needed a new building, and we got it, and it's a beautiful building, and I'm starting to enjoy it. We got a great alumni room up there.
You had the luxury of playing with so many legends in the sport today. How do you think the legends then versus the caliber today?
Well, the game has changed so much, you know, and you know,
for better or worse?
Well, you got 26 teams. I started off, there's only 6 teams, so it was a little tougher. Hockey is different. It's more open, higher scores, more points. I mean, nowadays, if you score 50 goals, that's a good year. If you get 20 or 30 goals, you know, it's an average year. my days, you score 20 or 30 goals in a year. Hey, that's a great year. So it's changed a bit. But hockey now, I think, is a little faster, a lot more hitting, and it's changed a bit. But I think people enjoy it.
Nice to see you out here at the Clark Celebrity Golf Classic.
I'm enjoying it. It's just got started, but hey, we're going to win it.
A supporter of this event from day one, Dennis Hall is always ready with a joke. His quick wit and list of hockey stories and jokes has made him a natural master of ceremonies for the evening's events. Of course, it helps having a famous brother that you can make fun of.
Bobby, we've never had a problem, everybody. Well, that one little, yeah, when he wouldn't give me his hair that night. But.
Dennis Hall played 959 games in the NHL, in which he scored 654 points and was a member of Team Canada in the '72 Canada-Soviet Series. Today he lives in Ontario during the summer and the Carolinas in the winter, and is one of Canada's most popular and entertaining dinner speakers.
But my son, John, is the same age as Brett. I guess a year or two younger, a little bit younger. But, you know, he's doesn't make $5 million a year. Of course, well, he's never had a job, actually. There's no hope of him ever getting a job. But I'll tell you what, he always knows where I am. You ever have a kid like that? Like, he's never going to leave home, right? It's too good, right? Never going to leave. But Bobby and I were in New York, I was telling you, in June, and we had a nice night there, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're out partying and dancing, and then I went back to the hotel. 3 o'clock in the morning, the phone rang. Like, this kid isn't too sharp, right? I picked up the phone 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't even have to guess. I just picked it up and said, "Hi, John." He said, "Dad, don't get upset." He said, "I got a little problem." He said, "The dog from across the street came over and got hooked onto our dog." And he said, "I don't know how to get him apart." He said, "I tried hitting him with Uncle Bob's hockey stick. I threw water." I said, "Here's what you do, John. Hang up the phone, take the portaphone out, hold it next to the dog's ears. I'll call you back, and the ringing of the phone will make him come apart." He said, "Do you think that'll really work?" I said, "It just worked with your mother and I."
Yeah, let's talk about getting all the celebrities out here, all the legends. You were fortunate enough to play with all of them.
I was, and this is, they have more at this tournament than any tournament that I go to, and I do go to a lot of them. And, you know, they have everybody who's anybody here, you know, from Frank Mahovlich to Eddie Shack.
Eddie Shack, an NHL legend, probably most instrumental in bringing NHL greats such as Dennis and Bobby Hull and the rest of the players involved in the NHL Oldtimers to the West Coast for the tournament. He is always one to have fun. No matter where you run into Eddie the entertainer, he's always living life to the fullest.
Push, glide, shoot the puck. Push, glide, shoot the puck.
Eddie played 1,047 games in the NHL, and known for his reckless abandon play, charging up and down the right wing, he was always one to thrill crowds and intimidate opponents. As a member of 4 Stanley Cup winning teams in Toronto, he got a lot out of hockey and is always one to give back. Giving back is what makes the event work, and organizers are quick to point out that without the support of corporate Canada, it just wouldn't happen.
Organizations like Air Canada really make the difference in this, because they fly all these hockey players in from all over North America for us. And they do it, they do it out of the goodness of their heart. And so all I can say is anybody flying anywhere, please consider Air Canada seriously. I fly with nobody else because of their commitment to British Columbia, commitment to the Clark Foundation NHL Celebrity Classic, and their commitment to children of helping our community.
Do you find it tougher nowadays to get sponsorship involved?
No, not really. I think you maybe have to work a little bit more with a little bit more creativity. But really, I think that corporate Canada is participating more in these type of charitable events and sensing their responsibility and working with organizations like us that decide to do something. And the fact is the tie-in with sports and the NHL Oldtimers Association and some of the current players. Like we have Bill McCreary here, a current referee, who's still working the ice. And I think the combination of everybody working together for the benefit of those that are not as privileged as we are is what it's all about.
With a lot of companies having teams involved in the event itself, employees and even customers benefit with a great day of golf. Sun Microsystems, having numerous teams involved, has been a supporter since day one.
Okay, Arnie, your company is majorly involved with heavy sponsorship.
Yes, we are, and delighted to do so, as a matter of fact.
And the company is?
Sun Microsystems of Canada.
Now, how'd you get involved in the sponsorship?
I guess it started a couple of years ago with Jerry St. Germain, and he's a heck of a salesman. You know, the guy can probably sell most anything, and certainly sold us on the idea of this.
This team from the Royal Bank had the opportunity to play with Paul Henderson, who's a great ambassador of hockey and a pretty good golfer. That is, when he wasn't on his cell phone. Spending the day with a legend of hockey only makes a day out in the links that much better.
Brad, one of the major sponsorships with this event, tell us about the sponsorship.
Well, we've been involved with the tournament since it began 3 years ago. The Clark Group are longtime customers of ours, and we've always had a great relationship with them, something that we wanted to support them with when they got this going. And the other part of it is it's all for charity. We do an awful lot in the province. This year it's our 100th anniversary, and we'll probably, through a variety of different donations and events, contribute close to $2 million to a number of different charities. Obviously Sunny Hill Hospital is a great one, and some other things that this course represents, or this tournament represents. And it's a great day. You know, it's fun for us to get to play with Paul Henderson, the 1972 hero. That's a dream come true. I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan from way back, so this is just great.
And with the likes of NHL greats such as Red Kelly, Bobby Hull, and Frank Mahovlich, you can bet that a lot of the participants felt the same way. Particularly when you realize that a great number of the participants grew up idolizing NHL greats such as the Big M Frank Mahovlich, one of the best players of all times, as he was a prolific scorer for 18 years. Winning the Calder Trophy in 1958, he was a member of 9 All-Star teams and won 6 Stanley Cups.
Frank, nice to have you back here for a second year.
Thank you very much, Steve. My pleasure.
Successful, as usual, and a lot of the hockey players, legends, as I call them, they come back and they keep giving all the time.
Oh, yeah, they're super guys, and we've given so much. Hockey players over the years always took it upon themselves to get out and help the charities around the country.
The game's changed so much from when you played. What was it like playing with the likes of Gordie Howe and Alex Delvecchio?
Well, it was just great. I played in 1969 with Alex and Gordie, and I think it was that year that we broke the record for most goals for one line in hockey up to that point. I think Esposito's line in Boston beat us the next year after that, but it was a real treat to have 2 great hockey players playing with me in '69.
Always a fan favorite throughout his career, Bobby Hull shares in Frank Mahovlich's sentiments of giving back. With today's younger generation, Bobby Hull is quite commonly known as the father of Brett Hull, but those who knew him in his playing days quite freely state that he had the greatest shot the game has ever seen, and he has the numbers to support it. Over his 16 seasons, he scored 610 goals, was named to 10 All-Star teams, and 5 times scored more than 50 goals a season. Today, Bobby is on the board of directors of the NHL Oldtimers and is very supportive of their efforts.
I have to cheat, you see. There's somebody smoking cohibas out here, and I just picked up the banner and put it on my cigar.
One player you can be certain that Bobby was happy to see out at this year's event was Leonard Red Kelly, a great ambassador for the game. Red Kelly played 20 years in the NHL, playing both defense and center. Over that time, he played on 8 Stanley Cup winning teams, won the Lady Byng Trophy 4 times, and was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1969. It was great to see him enjoying some West Coast golf.
Red, nice to have you out here for this event.
Well, it's great to be here. It's for a great cause, and we always enjoy coming out here. And so today's been a great day, beautiful weather. What can be nicer than being out on the golf course?
Who first brought this to your attention?
Well, the Alumni Association, Keith McCreary, and who's really in charge of it, and all the guys, they contacted us and invited us out. So.
You can be certain that Red Kelly appreciated the beauty of Surrey's Northview Golf and Country Club, home to the Greater Vancouver Open. great course can inspire just about any caliber of golfer, and that's one thing participants set out to do: golf. It's all for fun, but there is some prestige in winning. Pat Quinn, who has been involved in the tournament since its inception, is proud of the support that the Canucks alumni provides to this tournament and various other charities throughout the province throughout the year.
Pat, how was the round of golf?
Well, really enjoyable. A beautiful day. The wind's a little hard for guys that hit it like I do, but it was terrific, and nice to see all the old faces, a little wrinkled and a little pot-bellied, but some good faces around here.
Bottom line, they're still involved. They still keep giving of their time.
Yeah, they really do. This is a great bunch. We've only had the third year out here, but they've been going since the early 80s. These guys have been working in various spots across Canada, started in Toronto, like I say, in the early 80s. And, you know, a lot of the guys in our business feel that there's a reason for them. They were gifted and blessed, and there's a way to give back, and this is a great way to do it.
A lot of the Canuck alumni players involved, too.
Yeah, well, I'm a little prejudiced. I think we've got the best alumni in the country, and our guys work hard at it, and we've got a terrific bunch here, and they're always glad to pitch in.
It wasn't long before players began to arrive back at the clubhouse to talk about how well their day went, red faces and all. Of course, some went a little too far in talking about how well they played.
I played fantastic. We were 19 under. I think we won again this year. We've won 3 years in a row. It's getting to be like a habit, you know.
Oh, we did great. Did you win it? We were my number under.
Nice.
Yes, sir. I had a great day.
That was another
59, I think.
That was another
59.
three. We just see all the birdie. Was that in the right hole? Yeah, that was the right hole. See, these are all birdies. 7 of them. my partner here. We got 7.
Did great.
Not enough, but we got 7.
It was great.
Yeah?
Had a good day.
What's the final score?
Our score was 5 under.
5 under.
Yeah.
And
We
a
had
ton of fun.
A ton of fun.
Right.
Yeah, the score doesn't indicate the fun we had out there.
One team that truly did play well was that of Glenn Hanlon and his teammates from International Plastics as they scorched up the course. And after the scores were posted, the silent auction and the live auction took place. After dinner and some Dennis Hall humor, the winning team was officially announced.
With a score of 59 is Glenn Hanlon, Wade Bradley, Ted Bradley, Bob Fay, and Steve Little. Come forward, gentlemen. Our winners for 1997. Hey, the boys from Shaughnessy.
Glenn Hanlon, Wade Bradley, Ted Bradley, Bob Fay, and Steve Little had the best score of the day with a score of 59, 11 under. Although the real winner was the benefiting charity Sunny Hill Health Center for Children.
Clark Foundation NHL Oldtimers Celebrity Golf Classic is a major contributor to the Kids in Action program. This program develops resources, equipment, technology, and research to allow children to become active participants in recreation and sports in their communities. I would like to thank all the players, corporate sponsors, the Clark family, and Jerry St. Germain who have given so generously to Sunny Hill and most importantly for the kids. Thank you.
So that's a wrap on another successful Clark Foundation NHL Oldtimer Celebrity Golf Classic. Year 4 is already in the works, so be watching for next year's highlights. From the Northview Golf and Country Club, I'm Steve Erickson. Thanks for watching, and for more information on Sunny Hill Health Center for Children, phone 434-1331.